Yeah, this is my first time, as Roman said, and stand-up is not something that I thought I would ever do. Roman has been trying to talk me into this for quite some time now, and you know, he was always like, oh, you know, you should do stand-up, and I'm like, Roman, no, like, there's no way in hell you're gonna get me up there on that stage, like, alone, with a microphone, telling jokes to a bunch of friends/strangers, like, it's just not gonna happen. And, you know, every time I saw Roman, when are you doing stand-up? You gotta do stand-up, you should do stand-up, come on, do stand-up, we need more girls doing stand-up. And, you know, I'm like, no, Roman, like, nobody wants to see that, you know, it's gonna be like watching, like, an awkward hookup, you know, it's gonna be like one person's, like, really into it, and, like, you know, like, just really into it, and probably trying too hard, and the other person's, like, let's just, like, go through the motions, get this over with, so I can go, like, finish drinking, and, like, get more drunk, and I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen, and he was persistent, he talked me into it, and alas, here I am.
Yeah.
Yes, which just goes to show that, ladies and gentlemen, with a little convincing, you can talk me into just about anything. Fellas. Give it up for my friend Julia, dude. That's Julia. Julia's actually one of my really good friends. She probably knows, like, more about me than anyone else in this audience, which is a little terrifying. And I thought that maybe, you know, she would get up here and, like, you know, like, tell a story about me, or, like, say something about me, or, like, you know, anything about me, but she didn't. Which is fine, you know, like, it doesn't have to be about me all the time. You know, Julia, she's one of my great friends. And, you know, she'd never do that to me. You know, she would never get up here and, like, divulge my personal secrets to strangers, which makes her a really good friend, and I respect her for that. I respect her greatly. I, on the other hand, am not. Sorry, babe. Oh, God, she's gonna attack me. Julia, like I said, is my best friend, and we hang out a lot, and one of our favorite activities is getting drunk together, which probably says a lot about our friendship. We like to get drunk, and Julia, we have a nickname for her. When she gets drunk, she's the one-drink wonder. Yes. Julia has one drink, and she's at the drunk level that, like, it takes the rest of us, like, 5, 6 drinks to get to. So she has one drink, and she's just annihilated, which is awesome, because, like, it's just less effort for me to, you know, get her to make out with me.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever. But, you know, just for an example, like, last week I had a Halloween party, and Julia shows up to my house with a bottle of wine. And she proceeds to drink the bottle of wine. And it's gone probably within an hour and a half, maybe. It's gone. She's gonna kill me for this, but whatever, it's fine. So the wine is gone, and she's drunk, and she's having a good old time, you know. And she's such a trooper about it, too. She then goes into my kitchen and pukes in my sink. She pukes in my, she's such a good friend that, you know, she cleaned it up. She cleaned it up, and then she cleaned herself up. And then she got a glass of water and sat down in my living room and drank the water, and then the next thing I know, she's back partying again. So, give it up for Julia. The one-drink wonder. I've made my small Italian friend very angry with me, so I'm gonna regret that, but whatever. Anyway, so that's not the only thing that Julie and I have in common. We are actually both vegetarians. Woo! Which, that's not the normal reaction I get. Usually when I tell people I'm a vegetarian, it's always like I tell them I've just been diagnosed with, like, some terminal disease, you know? It's like I'm a vegetarian, and then they go, oh, I'm so sorry. Can you eat? Like, what? How do you eat? Is that, you don't eat? No. Okay. So I decided to go vegetarian probably like 10 years ago, and I decided to tell my parents, because I was living with them at the time, and, you know, you should probably, like, tell the people that prepare your meals that, you know, you're gonna be on some dietary restrictions. So I was like, you know, Mom and Dad, like, let's talk, like, you know, like, so I sit them down, and they're, like, super worried because their teenage daughter is sitting them down to have a talk, and so they kind of, like, they're a little, like, nervous. So I'm like, you know, Mom and Dad, like, I've been thinking a lot, like, I made this decision, and I want to be a vegetarian. And my mom just, like, looks at me, and she's like, are you sure that's okay? Like, how are you gonna get your protein? Honey, you're not gonna, like, get enough protein. Like, I'm so worried about you. And then I look over at my dad, who's got this look of relief on his face, you know, he's just like, oh, thank God, like, as long as you're not like knocked up or a lesbian, it's fine, I'll get what you need, so, which is fine, you know, my family's a trip, dude. And I know a lot of people say that their family is like crazy or whatever, and that's fine, I'm not gonna like discount that. My grandma, on the other hand, probably has a lot of your grandma's beat. So let me just tell you a little bit about my grandma. She took me to get my first tattoo when I was 17. It was her idea. She came up with the idea, the design, everything, and she brought me to get my tattoo. She's 84. She's 84 years old. Woo. Yeah, and a couple years ago, she made a life decision. She decided that she was going to start growing marijuana. Yes, she did. So how this happened, basically, was a couple years ago, my grandpa died, and she was going through some of his stuff that he had, you know, left behind, and she found a box. And this box was, like, very clearly, like, obviously from the 70s, and I'm sure she had some fond memories with this box. So she knew, like, what was in the box, you know. So she opens it up, and she finds this little bag of seeds. And she decides to plant the seeds. Of course, why wouldn't you, you know? So she takes the seeds and she goes up to her cabin up north and decides that's the best place to grow them. It's secluded, you know, she's like not gonna get in trouble. So she plants the seeds and she's so like diligent, like just with these seeds. She's like watering them every day and she like looked it up online, like how to grow marijuana. And she's like, you know, I'm gonna grow these seeds and you know, one day a little seedling pops up. And the day that happened, it was like there was like a 6th grandchild in the family. Like she loved this plant so much, and she was so proud of it. And she would send me pictures of this plant, like the progress, like oh look at it now, it's like growing, and you know, and then she would like show it off to people that came over, which is fine if it's our family. But my grandma's the kind of person that like invites people over a lot, and she's just always like, she'll meet strangers and be like, oh yeah, like come to my cabin, like it's cool, you know, come stay with me, whatever, which is probably like a recipe for like her to get murdered or whatever, but she does that. And so one day, my aunts had a couple friends staying with her, and they're staying with her, so they get there and they're like going around, my grandma's showing them the place. Oh, you know, this is my bathroom, here's your room, and look, here's my pot plants. And I guess, from what she tells me, the man just kind of gave her a look, and the woman was like really just astonished. And the woman said, oh yeah, you know, I know what that is. And the husband said, yeah, I do too, that's, I recognize that from my days in the DEA. Yeah. And she's telling me this story, and I said, Grandma, like, why are you showing people your pot plant? You don't know these people, you just met them. Like, what is the deal? And she's like, what are they gonna do, arrest an old lady? Yeah, Grandma, they will. They don't care how old you are. Like, they will arrest you. But, you know, that's all right. I am gonna get off the stage before Julia's cousin Vinny comes and so, thanks, guys.